Hello and welcome to the 1991 World Ice Hockey Championships from Helsinki, Finland. I'm Paul Ferguson. Richard Beaupre is here. Day 2 of the Group A competition continues in a moment with Sweden taking on Finland.
Well, the Swedes with a great opening win, and of course the Finnish supporters are well happy with the way that their team is playing.
A lot of support here for both teams. Let's look at the tables after one day of play. The Swedes up in first place because of their better goals for and against difference. They've got 2 points. The Finns barking at their heels. The Soviets are there. They squeaked over the Swiss 3-1. The Canadians are there too with that close win over the Americans. And of course we have the Americans, the Swiss, the Czechs and the Germans at the bottom of the table. The games today, USA against Czechoslovakia. That's going to be a good one. Canada up against the lowly Swiss. The Germans against the might of the Soviet Union. But the one to watch is right here on Eurosport. Sweden against Finland. That is going to be one heck of a contest. The rivalry continues between these Scandinavian clubs.
Well, the two top Scandinavian clubs going at it. A lot of Finnish support. Of course, Ketterer with a big shutout yesterday for the Finns. Can they stop the offensive machine that the Swedes are going to be throwing at them?
A lot of NHL players on both sides, Richard. That really does make a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, it most certainly does. Both teams have got a lot of experience, a lot of talent. They're playing all over the world. They've come back together to represent their country, and we'll see who's got the stronger side.
Both teams are well coached, and both teams have the NHL experience, as I said, and there are a lot of young players on both teams, so it'll be an interesting contest. The Swedes look a bit like this. They have some great goaltending with Peter Lindmark, Ritterwall, and Soderstrom, and these boys are well into their 30s except for Soderstrom, so it'll be interesting to see who they start with. Lindmark is 34 years old, Ritterwall 32 years old. On the D, we've got Jonsson, Lidstrom, Stillman, Ken Holt, who's been around a long time, and of course Samuelsson, who's been there forever.
Swedish power play, they like to get the puck to Ken Holt. He's got one of the big shots. Rundqvist, an outstanding left winger. Per-Erik Eklund. Garpenlov just back from the NHL. They're happy to have him back.
Well, a lot of talent there on the wings. What have they got at center?
They're very classy forwards. Hackenloob, of course, his name goes without mention. Calgary Flames, he's been around. Back in Färjestad now. Matt Sundin, one of the leading NHL rookies this year with the Quebec Nordiques. Don't forget Mats Naslund, the ex-Montreal Canadian great.
He's now playing for HC Lugano in Switzerland, 31 years old, but he can still do the business. Pentti Matikainen, always looking cool, well turned out. He's got the great tan.
Absolutely. It looks like he's been on holiday prior to coming here. Taco, Lindfors, Ketterer, the goalies. As we mentioned, Ketterer with a shutout yesterday. I think he'd have to be favored.
Newman, a good defenseman, Utila, Rutinen, all these guys are strong on defense, and they're really pumped up with the home crowd, aren't they?
They sure are. Peltoma, a big forward in front of the net, 27. Järvinen, Järvenpää, Jari Kurri, Keskinen, number 26, classy forward, great playmaker. Watch Christian Ruutu, 21, sees a lot of action with the Buffalo Sabres.
An interesting thing we spotted yesterday was that as we take a look at Rolf Ritterwall going between the pipes for the Swedes, we saw it was a much more physical game yesterday when the Finns were out there, and we both feel, I think, that is down to the NHL influence. A lot of it is down to the NHL influence anyway.
Both teams are accustomed to that. The Czechs, of course, have their share of players in the NHL. They're playing a more aggressive game than we've seen them play in the past as well.
So the Swedes will be playing from left to right. The Soviet referee, Morozov, will do the honors to get this face-off underway. And I can remember watching Morozov last year when CSKA Moscow played against Chicago, and it was one of the most physical games I've ever seen. And I thought that Morozov was going to be railroaded right out of town because he was giving penalties to everyone, including the guy selling hot dogs for overcharging up in the stands. He really was abysmal in the NHL, but he's on his home territory here doing European hockey. Let's see what he can do.
He's got a lot of experience. This will be a good end-to-end action game. I look for the Finns to hit the Swedes. They've got a lot of classy little forwards who can really move the puck, and the Finns are going to want to try and contain that.
Marcus Ketterer, TPS Turku goalie, 23 years old, gets the first touch, and you can see the crowd here in Helsinki. They're raring to go.
As mentioned, Scandinavian rivalry here. There's a lot of Swedish support as well. They're going to be cheering on their team. They're both coming in with perfect records.
So the Finns with Virta. Virta circling, bringing it out of his own zone, gets it up on the wing. And we saw some great forechecking yesterday by the Finns in the neutral zone. Jari Kurri went after that, and Jansson got it over the far side. That goes all the way down the ice. And there really isn't an empty seat in the house.
Crowd reacting, a very deliberate icing there. Going to give the Swedes a little bit of stick for that. Thing to remember, the key yesterday to the Finns' success was the aggressive forechecking that they displayed against the Czechs. Will they do that today against the Swedes, who can really move the puck out of the zone quickly?
Coach Connie Evanson looks set to take control of this one. He's happy with their first outing. The Swedes in their own zone, take it behind the goal. Stillman lost control of that, but the Swedes eventually come up with the puck on the hash marks and tip it out into the center ice zone. Henriksen will go back along with Rotinen. Järvinen. Ruutu follows up, waiting for the pass. The Finns will take that into the blue line and then shoot it in. Ruutu takes the shot. Stillman takes Ruutu out of the boards, and this one's going to be physical as Järvinen goes in behind the goal. Sweden now coming back on the attack. And again, we see the fearsome forechecking from Ruutu and company as Järvinen for Finland pumps it back into the Swedish zone. Stillman picks it up and bats it forward. The long pass up to the blue line. The Swedes slow it right down. The long shot into the corner. Sundin tried to get a handle on that. Siren working his way in, and Ruutu was there with him. Coming back on the attack now. The Swedes slam on the brakes. Delayed offside on the play. Pekka Tikkanen flips that into Ridderwall. Ridderwall gets it out to the blue line. And again, we see Sweden under pressure. Suminen is cruising right in front of the net. And how many times did we mention his name yesterday? And how many times did he come up empty-handed right in front of the goal?
Well, he missed his opportunities, but he created a lot with the way that he forechecked.
Garpenlov is taken heavily into the boards. Teppo Numminen plays for the Winnipeg Jets. Gets that up on the defense to Siren. Salan pumps it into Ridderwall. Up on the left wing for Samuelsson. The Swedes just happy to get it into Marcus Ketterer and force another face-off. Luma will talk to him about that and will agree with him on that occasion. Hang on to those pucks, force the face-off. We don't want to throw anything away when we don't have to.
It's early stages. Both teams dump the puck, dump and chase, try and get their legs, get themselves into this game. Of course, the supporters, they've already had their warm-up. They're yelling and cheering already. But both teams will give the goalies chances to handle the puck, get themselves loose. A lot of pressure here, big crowd. Both teams want this win.
Jyrki Luma, number 29 for Finland on the D, ex-Montreal, now Vancouver Canucks. A lot of experience as Luma is taken out of the play. Kivella to the far side. We're in the first period here. Finland against Sweden. No score. Lidstrom goes deep. Gets taken out along the boards. That goes into the neutral zone. A 2-on-2 break. A long shot coming from 22 Berglund. That deflects off a skate and goes into the corner. Some triple teaming there by the Finns along the boards, leaving the left side of the rink open. The shot coming from number 4, Lidstrom. Lidstrom working his way forward. Rotinen behind the net. Luma, a lot of space to get it forward. Looking there for 18 to Amisto. Picked up by Berglund and backhanded into the Finnish zone. Rotinen takes his man out of the boards, and the Finns now coming back on the attack. A giveaway pass there picked up on the wrong side of the red line, and Luma will get this forward. All the way down the ice. Järvenpää will go after it, but the whistle will blow first.
Luma with the right idea, trying to back the Swedish defense off. Just in the neutral zone, a little bit too far for Järvenpää.
The Swedes with 4 gold medals, 13 silver, and 10 bronze in this competition. And the Finns, as we said yesterday, are still looking for their first medal. They have so many talented players, it's hard to believe. There's the scoreline here in the first period in Helsinki. It's the Group A competition. Järvenpää got that up. Jari Kurri. Kurri slams on the brakes, and I said yesterday that Kurri seemed a bit slow in the neutral zone. He was being forechecked all over the ice, and well, we'll see what he can do today. Kurri gets set up. Nieminen, a loose puck to the far side. Thomas Rundqvist taken out of the plate. The Swedes hang on to it right in front. Lube got it over, but the Finns pick it up. Virta will slow it down and get it back to number 3, Henriksson. The long pass, looking for Tuomisto. Tuomisto is shadowed there by Ken Holtz, and that's going to be pressed against the boards. Lube is looking for the loose puck. Lube is hammered into the woodwork by Ruutu. Christian Ruutu is having words with Lube. And I'm sure that Lube will take his number and get back to him. It may not be in this game. It may be on the beach sometime in the summer, but he'll get him.
We talk about international play and players traveling all over the world. They actually might not be friendly from the old days. Both of them playing in North America. Ruutu with the Sabres. Lube had a good career with the Calgary Flames. Maybe there's something sparked from an old time that Ruutu is remembering.
30-year-old Håkan Lube now with Färjestad in Sweden. 92 games played with the Swedish team. Samuelsson gets that forward. The Finns happy to flip that into center ice. The long pass forward. Number 26, Mats Naslund, getting his first real taste of the action there as he got that shot wide of the target. Rotanen hangs on to that, looks for Ruutu. The pass didn't come off. The backhand is right in front. The save is there. Ketterer saw that slide into the crease and eventually put the glove on it.
The Finns are going to have to be quicker in their own zone and get together. Puck taken away. Good action in front of the net. Ketterer holding on. You can see Mats Sundin right in front of that goal, just looking to bang that rebound home. Ketterer holding his ground well, as he did yesterday. The Swedes throwing a lot of forecheck here. Mats Naslund all over the ice. They're going to have to watch him.
Eklund. Repa, the Canadian linesman, is having words with Keskinen and eventually says, hey, your time is up, out of the circle.
Faceoffs will be key in this game. Both teams have very good forwards, great centers on the faceoffs, and the Finns won a lot of their draws against the Czechs on the game yesterday.
Kept in just for a moment there by Jonsson. No score here in the first period. Ritterwall taps that over to 21, Eriksson. Eriksson flips it into center ice, and that's batted back by the Finns. Looking for the quick break. Number 25, Suominen, was squeezed out of the play, but it's still Finland with puck control. Now it's Ritterwall who comes up with it. Ritterwall hangs on to that. We're going to take a short break. Join us in a moment for more action from the first period. We'll be right back.
boards in front of the bench seconds earlier to get back and cover him that well. Janssen, of course, 31 years old, showing that age means nothing with him. He still goes up and down the ice as well as anybody.
Janssen batted that in. Järvenpää picks it up in the corner, being shadowed there by Eklund. Järvenpää to the far side. The long pass right in front of the goal. Ritterwald goes down. Uttila, who stepped back on the ice for Finland, got that pass and broke right in. Couldn't really get a shot away. And the Finns certainly are working on that quick break. Rundqvist now, who's also back on the ice, brings it forward. Thomas Rundqvist up on the right wing. Sweden working it well. Lidström has it right in front, and Rundqvist misses the goal post by about 2 inches. There's going to be a penalty on the play. Rundqvist looks at his stick, but it's not the stick that's to blame. How did he miss that?
Well, I'd like to say I haven't looked at my stick and thought that at times, but that's an old one and nobody in the arena is going to buy it. Rundqvist was all alone. Here you see a beautiful delayed move. Number 4, Lidström slides a puck to him. All he's got to do is get it behind the goaltender. He had time to eat a sandwich before he shot that one. The whole net's open for him, and that is a situation that you will not see Thomas Rundqvist miss very often.
206 times with the Swedish team. Rundqvist will have nightmares about that one.
Well, you can see the Swedes talking this over as Rotanen went to the penalty box for his hooking call. The Swedes know they've got to pull one back to get into this one. They're down by 2. It's a great opportunity for them to spread out, move the puck, and get a big goal.
Nieminen, Curry, and Numminen out there for Finland. The pressure will be on them. Ketter, of course, between the pipes will be called on, I'm sure. Eklund, Lube, all the big names for Sweden. Eklund against, that comes back to number 4, Lidström. Lidström. Lube. Lidström now. Lidström fakes the shot. Right at the slot. Lidström may take a bit too much time on this. Lube to Lidström. Back to Lube. Back to Lidström. Flips that to the far side. You can see that the Finns are setting up that triangle. They're not letting it break down at all. That's the key here. And there's the key right there. The break is on for Nieminen. He's got Curry breaking towards the net. The pass intended for Curry, broken down nicely by Lidström.
Well, they played the triangle so well. Nieminen did a great job of just holding his ground and cut that pass off.
Lube is beaten to it. And the whistle blows, and a great effort there by the Finns to defend as they were down 2.
Well, you can see what the Swedes are trying to do. They're using the off slot, trying to get a one-timer, move it across. The Finns kept that triangle so well that they didn't allow them to do it. Had a 2-on-1 of their own. As you can see, Curry breaking down the ice hard. That nearly paid off as well.
Gustafsson out there will go up against Ruutu. Ruutu will take his time. Matt Sundin, the Quebec Nordique sensation, is out there for the Swedes, and that's shot all the way down to Ritterwald. Oh, and a good check there by Ruutu. Really has to be the most physical player on the Finnish side. Play allowed to continue. You can see Morozov with the hands out. Sundin trails here now, pumped in by Ken Holt. That takes a weird and wonderful bounce. The shot comes right in, and a great save there by Järvenpää. Stillman got a piece of that. 7 seconds remaining on the coincidental penalties. The Finns will still be a man short, going right in on goal. Virta got his man down. Ketter made the save.
Oh, the Swedes just trying to open things up. You can see that hurt. Sundin getting up slow. He'd been out there a while. Put the move on the defenseman. It's a good defensive play to slide back in. Ketterer held his ground. Sundin took him and the net with him.
A last-minute effort there from Virtu. Really did help the cause here. Sundin trying to use his body as protection. And who got the worst of that? Well, I think Sundin did. He's getting up slowly, but I'm sure he'll be back in the action soon.
Well, Verta with a lot of experience, the captain of the team. I'm sure he feels a bit relieved not to get the tripping call on that. The Swedes, of course, wanted that call, and it didn't come off. Morozov was shaking his head. Definitely no, he didn't want to call that.
Gustafsson again in the face-off circle. Nieminen won it. And now 2-on-1 break. Coming down hard, the Finns. Curry is right in front. Luma, the big defenseman on the left wing, looking like a forward. Tried to get across, it just didn't come, and now Sweden back on the attack. Gustafsson on the left wing. Samuelsson. Stillman over to the far side. The Swedes have the man advantage. Curry out there again with Nieminen. Curry tips that nicely into the corner. Again, the Finns have successfully killed off a penalty. The long pass intended for Arto Rotinen, who is camped right on the blue line, just didn't come off, and we have a face-off.
That's twice the Finns have had a penalty. The man has come out of the penalty box and found himself on the far blue line by himself. Maybe it's a play they've tried to institute into their tactics, that if they can get possession, just sneak out of the penalty box and see if we can find you for a breakaway. Twice it's almost come off.
Well, it's all about winning games in the World Championships. There's no time for tomorrow. You have to win today. Everybody is going for gold. You really don't get a second bite of the cherry. Anderson flips that into the far corner. Henriksen will go after it. He's beaten to it. Eklund tries to get it back, and that's kept in by Samuelsson. Shot all the way around, and you can see the rough stuff that goes on in the corners as we get a good camera shot in the left-hand corner of this rink. Eklund, Eriksson doing a great job of cross-checking on Ruutu. No love lost there. The shot, Ketter will handle that easily as Henriksen muscles in front of the net. Ruutu piles in with a punch, and now they're going at it. Repa is trying to stand in between Jönsson. Not a good place to be. Jönsson and Ruutu.
Well, quickly you can see Ruutu. Here's a play along the boards. Eriksson is just beating the heck out of Ruutu from behind. Morozov's in the corner in the back of your picture, not seeing anything or calling anything, and that kind of thing can really lead to something. If Morozov had called the original play, that wouldn't have happened in front of the goal. It carried on, it went to the front of the goal. Ruutu came back with a vengeance to see if he can get a shot at Eriksson, and that's what results.
Well, it's taken the home ice advantage to pump up this Finnish side. I've never seen them play like this before. They've always been good, but they've never been this aggressive. They're going after the body. They're going after goal. Suominen bounces that off the boards. Tries to get it over to Uttila. It pass doesn't come, but Suominen stays with it. Coming back to Berglund. All the way back to the D. Kept in along by Berglund and Viktorsson. Uttila whistles that one out to the top of the circle. The break is on. Salan is in front of the net now. Salan cruises in to pick it up, being shadowed by Lidström. Lidström stays with him, but Salan comes up with the puck again. Lidström is still all over him. A great effort here by number 8 for Finland. Suominen kicks it now. Berglund for Sweden eventually brings it out over the zone, into the neutral zone and into Finnish territory. Some great stuff by number 8. No one wants this, so number 23, Viktorsson picks it up and gets it out front. Suominen falls to the ice. The whistle blows, and some great stuff from both teams. Really, they are playing their hearts out.
Well, they're certainly going at each other, and a lot of good, tenacious forechecking. Morozov, of course, makes the call.
Penalties on the play. There's the scoreline, 4-2. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the second period. 4-2 the score. Finland over Sweden. But the Finns right now have a man in the penalty box as Lube gets it over to the far side. Back to the point. 120 on the penalty. Jonsson pumps it back in. Bergqvist, the hash marks. Jonsson with Lidstrom. The puck was out of the sight of Morisov, and he whistled that down. Ketterer really didn't have complete control of that, but the indication from Morisov is that he wants a face-off there.
Rundqvist was right in front of the goal waiting for that. There you can see the shot from Thomas Jonsson. Ketterer just drops it from second. Big shot from Thomas Jonsson. There's the puck. Ketterer's looking for it. There you can see Rundqvist coming in. He wants to have a go at it. The referee lost sight of the puck and blew the whistle.
The wood really flying in front of that net. Rundqvist getting the chop from Jyrki Luma. And that's the kind of thing you expect when you're camped out in front of the opposition's goal. Rundqvist goes right back into the face-off circle. The Finns with a man down here. Rotanen gets it as far as Jonsson. Jonsson pushes that back in. Rundqvist goes up against Siren. Siren gets it out of the zone. Jonsson being chased by Ruutu. Lidstrom to the far side. Jonsson again. Rundqvist now for Sweden. Rundqvist fakes the pass, gets it over to the right wing. Some good stuff from Rundqvist as he makes his way into the slot area. Ruutu will go for a skate as he gets that to the far side, and the crowd really appreciates that. 28 seconds remaining on the penalty. Shot all the way down. Keskinen is there. Järvenpää. Jonsson now for Sweden, brings it out slowly. Jonsson, still it's Jonsson. Offside is the call with some sloppy work from the Swedes as they approach that blue line.
Swedes looking unrested there right at the blue line. They've gotten a fresh change with one or two guys and pushed each other offsides. They've still got time. Need a goal desperately to get themselves back into a one-goal deficit.
Schutz is saying, hey, where's the face-off? And now Gustafsson is taking up the cause for Sweden. Gustafsson will have all the chat. He plays for Färjestad, but he spent some time with Edmonton in the World Hockey Association long before you were even born, Richard, and of course he was with Washington for 9 years.
I was born, Paul, but I was playing Pee-wees or Bantam then, maybe. Spent a long time with Washington. He's 33 and still going at it.
The Finns getting set to level their complement of players on the ice. The penalty has expired. Sundin to the far side. Kenholt couldn't keep it in. Stillman backhands that away from Curry. Good forechecking there from Nieminen. That shot into the corner, right in front of the goal. Gustafsson found himself face down on the ice, and the Finns not letting the Swedes get organized as Curry breaks. Curry right down the middle of the ice, couldn't control that bobbling puck, and the Swedes now bring it back. Coming back on the attack, Sundin brings it right in front and shoots wide. Gets the return shot right to goal. The rebound is there, and Ketterer kicks it away. Naslund doing the damage there, and that goes all the way down the ice. Touched by Samuelsson. Icing is the call.
That's a good burst by the Swedes. Ketterer came up big again, made the initial save. Sundin is so dangerous when he gets in there. There he is coming into the picture. Left goes right, takes a quick shot. It goes just wide, but quickly comes off those puck boards. Sundin with another chance. Mats Naslund right in front of the goal, just can't put it away.
Still in the second period here in Helsinki. Eklund wins the draw. It comes back to the blue, right on the hash marks now. Salon couldn't contain that. Kept in by Anderson. Kicked away. Suominen taps that forward to Keskinen. Keskinen drops it back. The Finns working their way in over the blue line. Suominen is right in front. The shot came from a sharp angle from Keskinen. Kicked away easily. Salan working his way in. This guy has more cheek than anyone on the ice. He really does take on the players. He doesn't care that he's only 20 years old, and he should know better. Virta dumps it back. The shot, an easy one for Ritterwald, and he decides to hang on to that and call for a face-off and get some fresh legs for the Swedish team.
Oh, the experience of Ritterwald. He didn't like what he saw. The Swede looked a little bit out of place defensively, and he held on to take the whistle.
Big Peter Anderson taking numbers. Plays for Björklöven, 29 years old. Loves to throw his weight around out there. He'll take a rest and cool off. Connie Evanson, the Swedish coach, quick to get these guys off when the tempers start to flare. He really wants to keep all the players on the ice all the time. Ritterwald is set for the face-off as that comes back to Rotanen. He tips it into the corner. Ruutu. Along the boards, a lot of holding and grabbing. Janssen wants to go in after that as Ruutu is tied up. Janssen loses out there. Järvinen running into heavy traffic, pumps it in. That's behind the goal. No one really wants to pick this up because everyone's tied up. Peltoma couldn't get a handle on it, still kept in the zone. Some great stuff here as Lidstrom takes it deep, slows it down and brings it out. Lidstrom for Sweden. Over the blue line, over the red. Lidstrom taps it forward. Victorson being chopped and hammered along the boards by Henriksen. The whistle eventually blows. And Morisov again points the finger.
Well, I think he's got Henriksen. I'm not so sure as though I agree with this call. You can see Hanno Henriksen not arguing, but making his way slowly to the penalty box. There you can see the player on the outside. It's Victorson. I'm not so sure as though Henriksen's the one that tripped him there. Another look at it. There's Victorson, pushes the puck forward, having a go for it. He is being chopped by Henriksen, but Morisov clearly decided that that was a penalty. The Finns will be shorthanded. Now the Swedes desperately need to put something together on the power play. Slashing is the final call on Henriksen. He'll sit for 2.
That's his second penalty of the tournament. Matsikainen there barking out the instructions on the Finnish bench. Mats Naslund is set for this one. Over on the right wing, Gustafsson does the honors. He loses control of the face-off, and Virta fires it down the ice. Kenneth Kenholt. Up on the left wing now. Curry is dumped. Sundin brings it over, and there's the indication from Morisov. Tripping is the call.
Well, Sundin had carried on down the ice, and Siren, I think, had shown him a little respect that he didn't want at the time, and they're having words as well. I still say Morisov is like a traffic warden out there, a traffic cop doing his job, pushing people one way, directing the other way. Gustafsson on that call, 2 minutes for tripping. You called it, Paul, right on the blue line. You could see Jari Kurri go for a spill. There was a reason for that.
Siren, who's 6'2", experience with Minnesota and Pittsburgh, will be taking Sundin's number. The face-off outside of Finnish territory. Nieminen wins the draw. Siren being shadowed there by Sundin. Clever little move there as the Finnish side bring it out. Over the blue, Jari Kurri puts it to change direction. Lume is dumped in his tracks. Stillman, the long pass up. Naslund is with Lube. Naslund being roughed out of the play by Siren. Siren really does have a grab on him, but the Swedes manage to come up with the puck. Naslund is there. Siren now gets the loose puck behind his own goal. The pass over to Curry. Curry dumps it up to Ruutu. Ruutu brings it up slowly as Curry makes his way to the bench. Ruutu takes a shot. Oh, a great save by Ritterwall. The rebound is there, and Järvenpää couldn't put it in the net. All the way back to number 5, Timo Uttila. And how did that not go in? 2 minutes remaining on the period. Some great stuff from Finland as the Swedes bring it right back in with Rundqvist taking the shot.
Play has certainly opened up. It's end-to-end action.
Rundqvist now, as time ticks down here in the second period. The pass off to Anderson. He deflects it into Finnish territory. Uttila got it up to the far side. Samuelsson will go deep for this one.
Christian Ruutu, so dangerous, put a couple of brilliant moves on, nearly had a goal.
Rundqvist made the move just at the blue line, forced the offside. He looks back at the official in dismay, but he really did turn at the wrong moment.
Henriksen looking nice and comfortable in the penalty box, getting ready to come back on. This is that move. Brilliant move from Ruutu. Did Ritterwall ever do a great job to get a glove on that? That looked like a sure goal. Rebound, Järvenpää was right there and couldn't put it in. Lovely move from Christian Ruutu.
Well, that's the kind of thing you fear most when you're a goaltender. A guy coming in on a breakaway and just letting the blaster go. Henriksen steps back on the ice. Time ticking down here in the period. Ruotonen fires it in. Ruutu picks it up in the corner. Ruutu, rough and rugged, gets a ride there from Jonsson, gets a punch in the back, but continues to play with the puck. The Swedes pick up the loose puck. Garpenlov over to the far side. Right in front, the shot there. Keskinen getting a piece of that. Picked up now by Gustafsson. The break is on. Jari Kurri goes after that, but he can't get the handle on it. Right in front. Lidstrom found a good position there, but no one could pass him the puck. Ruutu trying to get it out. Garpenlov is roughed up in the corner. That goes as far as the blue line, but it's kept in. Eklund doing a great job. Garpenlov forechecking now. Garpenlov working with Eklund nicely. Eklund still looking to do something before this final whistle blows in the period. Lidstrom taking just a bit too long on the puck. Eriksson goes in over the blue line. The whistle blows. And Siren again finds himself mixing it up. This time it's with Eriksson.
Things are tough on the blue line. Every time the Swedes are coming over, the Finns are really trying to force them off sides, hook them up, hold them. It's working so far.
Well, you've got to hand it to Morozov. He is letting the play continue out there. There is a lot of hooking, the odd holding in the corners, but he's letting play continue. He's letting it flow.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's quite a comical character to watch as well. He's a real showman. Always got the smile on his face.
Berglund gets that back to the D. Stillman fires it back in for Sweden. Uttila will try to get that out of the zone.
Once again, you can see Morozov's arms and hands going as he signals a high sticking penalty. There he is. The crowd's not too impressed with this one. It was a little bit of an accidental thing, but it was right there in front of the net. You can see Newman he pushed his man away, followed through, and given him a slap on the back of the head with a stick. There it is, as the two players go apart from each other. Well, maybe it wasn't accidental. Newman lucky not to get a major call out of that one.
All's fair in front of the net, but Morozov spotted that one. So the Finns again will find themselves with a man in the box.
Well, you're saying he spotted it, Paul. I think probably he heard it. I imagine that the plastic was quite loud as the stick came around and hit it on his helmet.
Ruutu works his way into the face-off. Berglund is there for Sweden. An all-important face-off. Berglund wins it, gets it back. The shot comes in as wide and high from Ken Holt. And there goes the buzzer to end the second period, and a great second period. The third period is going to be fantastic. The score here is 4-2. Finland are leading over Sweden. We're going to take a short pause now. Join us in a moment, because we'll be back with the third and final period. Lots more action to come. Coming out on the ice. And Richard, as I said, this is going to be quite a period. No let up in the play for 2 periods, and nothing tells me that they're going to stop skating for the third.
Well, the spectators aren't waiting out in the lobbies for too long between these periods. They're back in their seats. They've paid good money, and they're certainly getting a game that's worth it. It's everything we've expected it to be. The Swedes, the Finns, the old rivalry, really going at each other. We're in store for a great 20 minutes.
An update here after the second period. The Canadians are leading the Swiss 2-0. Games being played just about every day right through until May the 4th here in Finland. The Group A competition is well and truly underway as Ritterwald goes through his stretching exercises. The Finns looking for their second consecutive victory. The Swedes had a great start against West Germany. 8-1 was that score. And the Finns, of course, beat the Czechs 2-0. So both teams looking to keep the unbeaten streak going. Morozov, the Soviet official, drops the puck at center ice, and the Swedes pick it up as they go from left to right. Naslund bounces that off a skate and gets it into the zone. Kept in at the blue line. Siren can't get round Sundin. Sundin hands it off to Naslund. Naslund has a lot of time on this one. The shot wide of the target coming from Ken Holt. The Finns with that man in the box.
The Swedes want to capitalize while they've got the opportunity early in the period. They'll be within 1 if they can score on the power play. It's just what they need.
The last thing the Swedes want to do is concede a goal against Finland here in the third period. They know that they've got the momentum with this crowd right in front. The tip. Ketterer didn't know he had it. The whistle eventually blows. Gustafsson setting that one up.
Good play by Marcus Ketterer. There you can see a nice heads-up pass to the front of the goal. The Swedes were in there behind the Finnish defense. Very deliberately, Gustafsson taking his time. Sundin was behind. There you can see the pass going through. Just gets the tip, but Ketterer's right there.
Gustafsson will go into the face-off circle for Sweden. He wins it this time, gets it back to Ken Holt. Ken Holt looking for the return pass. He gets it, takes a shot, and that's wide of the target. Stillman keeps it into the zone, and this time it's shot out.
.45 seconds on the penalty. The Swedes with the build-up.
They've got lots of time to apply the pressure as Sundin brings it over and drops it off. Ken Holt calling for it back at the blue. The box being set up by the Finns. Ken Holt gets it now, winds up, takes the shot. That took a deflection. The backhand shot comes in on Ketterer. Naslund getting a piece of that, but it wasn't a difficult shot as Naslund picks up his own loose puck. Naslund to the hash marks. Flips that into the corner. Sundin is waiting for the return pass. Naslund, a little cat and mouse out there for Sweden. Time ticking down on the penalty as that comes back to Ken Holt. Back to Naslund. Too hard for him as that goes into the corner. 2 seconds on the penalty. Finland now back at full strength as Teppo Numminen steps on the ice. Sundin still out there. He's been out there for a long time. Goes for a quick change now. The shot coming from Eklund and grabbed by Ketterer high. And Eklund was allowed to make a move, and that's the last thing you want to do with that guy in front of the net.
You mentioned Sundin a long time out there. Slipped the pass through to Eklund. There you can see a good move by him. The Finns caught looking for the puck. Per-Erik Eklund knows what to do with it. He's got a lot of experience. 28-year-old forward with the Philadelphia Flyers. Takes the wrist shot. Ketterer's got it all the way.
4-2 the score here in the final period. Janssen. Still Janssen as he shoots that into the Finnish corner. Utila backhands it, and that ends up in the crowd. So we'll have another face-off. This time it'll be in Finnish territory. Rundqvist losing out there as Janssen will be forced to go deep, shouted by Suominen. The drop off to Lidström. Still with Lidström. Now he hands it off. Eklund. Janssen takes the shot. Ketterer saw that all the way. Numminen cleared it into the corner. Numminen again gets it up along to Suominen. Suominen flips that into center ice. The break is on now. Salan poke checked at the last moment. Salan goes back in and tries to steal it right off Lidström, who stole it off him a moment ago. The Swedes know that they have to strike, and they have to strike early here in the period. Lidström taking the shot, and that's wide of the far post. Eklund was there looking for the rebound, and it just didn't come to him. Tipped right in front. The Swedes still keep it in with Hakanlu backhanding it in the corner. Finland trying to just get it out of the zone. Now the break is on. Kivela, the long shot way wide of Ritterwall, and that's picked up in the corner by number 28, Jell Samuelsson. To the far corner. Samuelsson brings his man down and skates quickly towards the box. No argument there at all.
Morozov playing to the tune of the crowd a little bit. I'm not so sure as though Samuelsson deserved this penalty. It's an excellent dive from Järvenpää. Morozov heard the crowd yell, saw Järvenpää on the ice, decided he'd give the big guy a penalty. Samuelsson didn't even want to know. He just skated right to the penalty box and took the hooking call. There's not a lot I can do about this, so I'll just go to the penalty box.
There is no appeal procedure in ice hockey.
The only appeal is to sit 2 more minutes or possibly 10.
That's right. Those are the options. If you don't keep your mouth shut, you could sit there for a total of 12, 2 plus 10. So the best choice is to go to the penalty box, bite the bullet. Anderson, the long shot all the way down the ice.
Because the sorry thing is that every time you talk to a referee, there are some words that are universal, and the referees don't like to hear it, and they will give you the extra penalty.
Tipped into the corner. The Finns now with the man advantage. Berta gets it to Jari Kurri. Kurri, the return pass. Listen to the roar of this Finnish crowd. They really are behind their home team. Kurri to Berta. Back to Kurri. Kurri takes a shot right in front. The rebound is there. It's loose and it's tipped away. Järvenpää was flat on the ice trying to poke it in. He had about 2 inches of open space to get it by Ritterwall, and he couldn't reach the stick out far enough.
Well, he got buried into the goal. He was face-to-face with Ritterwall. There you can see Kurri, great play to direct that to the goal. 15 is in front of the net. Nieminen, Järvenpää's in there as well. He's piled into the goal, right in the crease area. 1 shot, 2. There's the puck laying there. Everybody's having a go at it.
That was a brilliant pass by Kurri to find Nieminen in there. He had like about 3 or 4 inches to place that puck right between the skates, the sticks, and whatever else was in there. And he did it. Ken Holt goes up against Järvenpää. Gustafsson wins that and shoots it down the ice. No let up in the action here as Samuelsson continues to sit for his 2-minute penalty. Siren up on the boards. Berta runs into a brick wall, but the Finns pick up the puck in the corner. No one there to collect that. Gustafsson. Naslund. All the way down the ice, and Siren eventually collects for Finland. Siren waiting for the change of personnel out on the ice. Finland have eventually got their act together. Numminen in the corner. Runs into number 16, Gustafsson, and the Swedes now back on the attack. Naslund skating hard. Naslund takes the shot. Ritterwall at the other end looking on as Ketterer at this end makes the save. The break now, Suominen finds himself on an offside position as the Finns bring it over the line. Cleared out of the zone by Sweden. Some good stuff right on the blue line by the Swedes. 4 seconds on the penalty. Jansson will collect this. Shadowed by Keskinen, but he gets away from him. The Swedes are back at full strength as they break forward. Looking for Rundqvist. The puck is still loose. Right out front, Hakan Lube. Lube drops it off to the point. Lube again. Circling, turning nicely, eventually dispossessed, and the puck goes out over the blue line. Lidstrom misses a check there. Suominen is right in front, and the pass didn't come.
A great opportunity for the 2-on-1. Swedish defender doing a good job to keep that one away from the goal.
Eklund. Ketterer will tap that forward. Järvinen slowly gets it to the far side. That really doesn't go anywhere at all. Both teams trying to get another change. The long shot. Blocked by Henriksen. Nicholas Lidstrom really getting the wood on that. Henriksen now doubles as a goalie on his days off, I think. Made a great old-time hockey save as Järvinen goes in the corner. Järvinen being shadowed by Garpenlov. Samuelsson comes up with a puck. Put into the neutral zone, and again Finland dump it in. Anderson. A long shot after Plexi. Raimo Suominen to the far side. A bit of a giveaway as Berglund picks it up. Berglund puts it behind the goal, and the Finns now collect into the neutral zone. Luma fired it out. Tap back in. Kivella is on his man. Kivella taps it forward, and the Finns now breaking with 3 forward. The shot deflects there off Samuelsson. Tuomisto getting a piece of that. That's lying loose behind the goal. Ritterwall is in 2 minds whether to go for it. Garpenlov hangs onto it now and eventually taps it forward. Johansson kicks that into the corner. Berglund will go after it and hammers his man into the plexi. Utila with Luma in the corner. A lot of grabbing, holding, shoving as Johansson gets it back to the D. The shot coming from Stillman, picked up by Utila. A 3-on-2 break now. Kivella slowly takes it over the blue. Go for Suominen. The shot right on there was more of a deflection off Suominen. Ritterwall cleared it into the corner.
Good end-to-end action. Both teams throwing the body around.
Right in front of the bench. Both teams roughing it up. The Swedes knew they were safe. They had the men advantage. Curry up on the right wing. No one there to collect, so Stillman bats it back in. Sundin chases Siren. Siren gets to it first, but runs out of places to go. Sundin's right out front, looking for the pass. That trickles out into neutral territory. And the Swedes, so far in this period, unable to mount an attack.
The Swedes are starting to send one of the defensemen forward. They're going to get caught if they're not careful. 4 men going forward constantly now for the Swedes.
Nieminen tied up there as he tried to do something with Curry. Sundin in the corner, puts a bear hug on Siren. The Finns throwing it to the far side, and the Swedes bringing it right back in. Naslund slams on the brakes on the circle, tries to get the pass out front. Sundin was right there and couldn't get the shot away. That went by the far side. Rundqvist takes an elbow from Nieminen. Sundin picks it up, looking for Naslund. The Finns now collect. The lazy pass onto the left wing, and both teams looking for a change here as we go through non-stop action in the third period. 4-2 the score. Finland leading Sweden, but this one is not over yet.
Every week, NEC Transworld Sports circles the globe to bring...
Will slowly bring it up the ice. Keskinen breaking for the net of Salan. The shot. Ritterwall is right there. Jyrki Luma moved right into the slot area. Ritterwall came way out of his net to make the save.
Good setup by the Finns. Now that they're back at full strength, they're moving the puck offensively. Luma with a lot of time. You can see Ritterwall is well out of the goal and took a lot of angle away from him.
Final score in Norfolk, Canada against Switzerland, 3-0.
Well, not much of a reaction as the PA has announced that Canada beat Switzerland 3-0.
So Canada, too, continue their unbeaten streak. They beat the Americans 4-3 in their first encounter. No surprises so far. There was a big surprise coming up, though, I feel. The Swedes did not think that they were going to lose to the Finns, and that could be the case if this scoreline continues the way it is right now. Berglund drops that back off the backboards, and the Swedes bring it out slowly. Verta. The crowd really getting behind both teams here. A lot of support, as I said, as Ruutu takes it into the corner, being shadowed by Garpenlov. Garpenlov looking for the loose puck. Berglund muscles his way into the corner, and that comes flying out now. Garpenlov gets it right in front, no one there to collect. Salan bats it out of the zone, and Samuelsson picks it up. Samuelsson up to the blue. Gustafsson along the boards with Berglund, and the Finns really are manhandling them as that shot comes from way out and goes up, and Ruutu takes his man out along the boards. Ruutu tying up Berglund nicely. Sidden doing an equal job next door. Johansson tries to make a move, and he gets the grab put on him. Morozov lets play continue. Janssen putting a hold now on Salane. This really has turned into a wrestling match. Järvinen looking for that pass, and it didn't come. Perhaps it will this time. That's tipped away from Nieminen, and now the Swedes look for the quick break. Hakanlub has stepped on the ice, and we'll have a face-off as the crowd get behind both these teams. The flags waving, the horns are tooting, and of course the people are cheering. They really have enjoyed this one. It's been non-stop action right from the opening face-off, and it is so nice to see here in the World Championships that the teams are taking part 100% right from the opening face-off of every game. They're not waiting to the end, till the medal round, until things have to be done. They're doing it now. This is the important time.
Swedes are starting to sneak a forward to the back near the Finnish blue line, looking for a quick breakaway. You can see that the timeout has been called. Matti Kainen wants to have a word to let him be aware of this. In that particular play, Hakanlub was camped out on the Finnish blue line, just waiting for a breakaway pass. Janssen is going to start going forward with the puck. The Swedes are going to start taking chances for the offense.
30-second timeout then being called by the Finns. And Matti Kainen will be making them aware of that quick break opportunity by Sweden. They really don't want to sit back and relax. They know how quickly the Swedes can strike as Morozov whistles that the timeout is over. Curry using all his experience up there to tell the youngsters what they should be doing, motivating the guys, telling them, come on, this one's in the bag, let's keep it going.
It's a good decision by the coach just to take the 30 seconds, make sure the nerves are calm, they're in control, they've got a 2-goal lead, let's just play smart hockey.
Rundqvist and Nieminen will do the honors. Janssen couldn't get to that one quick enough. Nieminen shot it out. Janssen for Sweden, being shadowed nicely by Mika Nieminen. Rundqvist will have to go after this and put it back into his own zone. The Swedes being shadowed, given no real opportunity to get a man free. The quick clearance up on the boards is deflected over the boards, and we'll have another face-off. And both sets of supporters, as I said, really getting into the spirit of things here. They like that face paint. I hope that's face paint.
It's her makeup. She should really see somebody about that. Jari Curry taking a quick breather in between the face-offs. This game has been well enjoyed by everybody in attendance. They're getting their money's worth out of this one.
The face-off just outside of Finnish territory, and Nieminen has been told to take a break out of the face-off circle. Curry will go up against Gustafsson. Gustafsson wins that one easily, gets it back to Ken Holt. Ken Holt over to an open wing. That wasn't intended. Virta brings it back. Virta shoots it into Swedish territory, and we'll have another face-off.
The Swedes are getting the puck into the center ice area, throwing it in and trying to mount an attack. They know they've got to have 2 men on the puck wherever it goes.
4-2 the score here in the third and final period. The Finns are leading the Swedes, and the Finns are really up for this one. They've got the crowd behind them, a majority of the crowd anyway. There are a lot of Swedes have come over for this contest, but I'm sure a majority of these supporters are yelling for Finland. Keskinen got that one back. Uttila flipped it in along the boards. Stillman leaves it. Naslund picks it up. Naslund with 2 minutes to go on the clock. Naslund into Ketterer. Into the far corner. Gustafsson has dropped to the ice, but he picks it up now. Gustafsson trying to bring it in from the side. Perhaps the wraparound. Gustafsson is nailed to the ice. Taken out of the play. Morrisov lets play continue as time ticks away, and that shot all the way down the ice. The whistle blows for icing, and this could be a crucial face-off for Sweden.
Timeout signal being given by the coach Evansson of the Swedes. Trying to get somebody's attention.
Naslund is not too happy about something out there. Timeout has been called by the Swedes, and they know how important this face-off will be deep in Finnish territory. They trail by 2. They need it quickly. They have less than 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
That particular icing was actually accidentally. It just tried to lob the puck out of the zone, but it carried a bit too far.
The last thing the Finns want now, I know they've got one, but the next time around is a face-off in their own zone. They don't want to ice it. They don't want Ketterer to grab onto it. If they can, keep the puck moving, keep it out of the zone. Okay, shoot it down, but once you're over the red line.
Well, the Swedes have had a chance to talk it over. You can see the goaltender is out of the net. He has just come over the boards. That's Ritterwald. He's going to be anxiously watching as the extra attacker is put on the ice. They're going for it here with 6 men.
Will that be a shrewd move by Coach Connie Evansson? As soon as he heard that icing call, he knew the face-off was at the other end. And he hopes now with Ritterwald sitting on the bench that they'll get possession from this face-off. Rundqvist is out there. Hackenloob is out there. Lidström. The all-important face-off is won by the Swedes. Lidström takes the shot. Loob is right there. The rebound. The loose puck is right out front. Ketterer with Sundin knocking on the door. Ketterer came up with a pad save. Gustafsson was there too. The Swedes are all around the goal. Loob spins, gets it back to the point. The shot comes in. That takes a deflection and ends up in the corner. Sundin is tied up. Can't get a handle on the puck. To the side of the net now. Ruutu is back there, fighting off Gustafsson. The backhand shot bobbles right in front of the cage. Number 4, Lidström goes in and pumps it into the corner. Loob punches it behind the net. Sundin is there, the wraparound. They score! The wraparound came and hit the far post. Number 13 is there, taking the congratulations. That brings the Swedes one closer.
Good stuff from the Swedes. They're all over the Finns around the back of the goal. Some good work. There's Matt Sundin behind the net. Comes around, leans to the backhand, and forces a puck to the far post, just inside the far post. There he is on the backhand. A nice goal for Matt Sundin. Good effort.
He had Jyrki Luma all over him, and he just shook off Luma and put the backhand in the far corner. And look at the Swedish supporters. They're going crazy here in Helsinki, but they've still got one to go. There's the score, 4-3.
A lot of credit goes to Hackenloob on that goal. He was all over the zone, skating around, moving the puck. Good work from Lidström to keep it in a couple of times. The Swedes aren't finished yet.
The Finns now with Ritterwald back in the net. They called that icing. Now that's got to be a close call. That has got to be a very close call indeed. Another chance for Ritterwald to come off, and listen to the whistles from the Finnish supporters. That must have been a hair over that line, because that was so close.
Well, you aren't going to see Evansson complain about that call. That's just what he needs, is a face-off deep in the zone again. The referees together having a chat about it. They've obviously come to the decision between the three of them that wasn't icing.
Well, that's good. They waved that one off. We're happy about that. So the face-off in the neutral zone. Ritterwald stays in his cage. Sidin tries to bring it forward. The break is on now. Going right in on goal. They score! Sundin. The Swedes have leveled the score in the dying seconds of this game. An incredible finish as Sundin picks up his second goal of the period and his third goal of the game.
Incredible action. Sundin neatly pulls the puck to the backhand and dekes Ketterer out. Watch this. There's a breakaway. Backhand goal for Sundin. He's been there before, one of the leading rookies in the NHL this year. Excellent job by him. 2 goals within in the last 2 minutes of this game. He's got the Swedes level at 4-4.
Well, I know I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Anything can happen in ice hockey. You've just seen the Swedes come back from a 2-goal deficit in the dying seconds. We're not talking minutes here. We're talking seconds of this contest. And the Finns look totally out of it. And still a chance for anyone to win this game. And the Swedes now are pumped up. Jansson shoots it in with 30 seconds on the clock. Ketterer drops it off, and the Finns try to get it out of the zone, and they do. Jansson to the far side. A few seconds now as Lidstrom gets it forward, and it's back in Finnish territory. The Finns will be disappointed with this one. Numminen taps that one forward. Who's going to get the last shot? Who's going to have the last say? 10 seconds on the clock. Utila pumps it out. Jansson goes deep. Nieminen tries to get it out front. There goes the buzzer to end the third and final period. What a finish. A magical finish if you're a Swedish supporter. Evansson almost in tears there. The final score, Finland 4, Sweden 4, and you won't find a better game than that.
Well, Connie Evansson's well chuffed that his team could come back. The Finns, I feel, gave it away.
Well, as the teams congratulate their goalies, let's take a look at the results after day 2. There's the score, Finland 4, Sweden 4. Great comeback by Sweden to bring themselves level at the final whistle. Canada 3 over the Swiss, 3-0. That's their second victory of the tournament. The Finns pick up their third point of the tournament, and the Swedes with their third point of the tournament. We're going to leave you now. From Richard Beaupre and I, Paul Ferguson, bye for now.